Captain. Permission to divert power to inertial dampers.
Did you just reference inertia related to Newton's first law?
Why, yes I did, Captain. See, according to the law of inertia, if the ship jumped to warp speed, inertia would keep us right here because we are not part of the ship. So, we would either be splattered against the wall of the ship, or if we were moving faster than the speed of light.
The ship would pass through us and leave us in space.
That is correct, Captain. So we invented these fantasy mechanisms that supposedly account for our accelerating from rest to warp speed unscathed.
Sounds plausible enough. Lieutenant Dubois, bring us to warp 9.
It appears we have lost engine power.
I noticed. But, wait. Why are we not moving in any direction?
According to Newton's first law, we should be. Unless another force acted on the ship should continue to move at a constant velocity in the same direction it was originally accelerating, and even without engine power, due to its tendency to stay in motion.
Ugh. I hate these unrealistic physics. It's so tedious having to wait to be rescued when we could just float on to our next destination.
Agreed.
Okay, so technically speaking, the Death Star should not even be able to accelerate towards us to get into position to blow us up because of Newton's first and second laws, and the force it would take to overcome its own inertia, you know, the resistance to change and movement, and accelerate that mass into orbit.
What's a Newton?
Look, he doesn't exist, but that is besides the point, because his laws apply everywhere, all the time.
But...
Shut up. I'm talking about how we're going to defend ourselves against a slow-moving, moon-sized space station.
Okay.
Thank you. So, as I was saying, the Death Star has a mass of about 700 trillion kilograms. The force needed to accelerate a space station to the orbital speed of 1,000 meters per second in 1 second is 700 million newtons. This would require massive looking engines that it does not have. Without the third law, the Death Star is capable of shooting lasers in space without any effect on the station itself. With the third law, the Death Star is catapulted backward when it fires because the force of the laser going forward would propel the craft in the opposite direction. We need to know how to destroy this, not how it defies physics. Fine. Well, I will land here and deal with the Sith. All you guys will shoot a proton torpedo right here, which will hopefully destroy it, but I don't really expect you guys to survive because it's heavily guarded. So.
It appears we are encountering another subspace distortion.
That's the 5th time this week. What is it?
An unidentifiable object accelerating towards us at 0.47 kilometers per second squared. It appears to be a small moon.
Our shields can only withstand 5 million newtons of force. How much mass does the object have?
The computer can't determine that at the moment, but according to Newton's second law, the object must be less than 10,638 kilograms if the shields are to survive.
Why? How?
Well, Newton's second law states that the force equals mass times acceleration. After converting the acceleration of the object to meters per second, I substituted it into the equation, and along with the amount of force the shields can withstand. Then I solved for mass, which gives us 10,638 kilograms.
Okay.
If this moon crashes into us with the same amount of force as the shields can withstand, and the Enterprise has a mass of 5,000 kilograms, we will accelerate in the opposite direction at 1,000 meters per second squared due to the second and third laws of motion.
Huh?
Because the third law states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And don't tell me that you've forgotten how the second law works. I've just changed the variables that I put into the F equals ma equation.
Well, it's all a little much, don't you think? Since we never actually even move, even if we do get hit.
It appears that the object is not going to crash into us after all.
Ah!
The readings indicate that this small moon's orbit will not intersect our trajectory.
Wait a minute. That's no moon. That's a space station.
Well, you see, my weight is pushing down due to the gravity on this space station, but the floor is pushing up with an equal and opposite force. Therefore, I stay in place. This is due to the third law you were talking about earlier.
What? I don't follow.
See, if the floor wasn't pushing back, I would fall right through the ship.
You're an idiot.
No, I am Sith. I am science! Wait, shouldn't I be fighting you?
Yes.
How much force is needed to swing this lightsaber to incapacitate my opponent?
To do that, you need to use the Force.
The force?
No, F equals ma. You know, the second law of motion. If your hilt has a mass of a half a kilogram, and you need to knock the lightsaber out of your opponent's hand with a acceleration at 5 meters per second squared, how much force do you think you need?
2.5 newtons?
Correct. Now you're using the Force.
Now you feel the true power of the dark side.
Dark side of the Force? There is no such thing. There's only one kind of Force.
How uneducated of you.
Yeah, set phasers to dumb.
We're talking about the all-powerful force, not the insignificant force described by Newton.
Yeah, the Force unifies everything.
Now on that issue we can agree.
No problem.
Can you even explain the Force to us?
It's not like you could understand.
Well, it appears that each of our franchises disregards the laws of physics just as frequently as the other.
Or we're thinking of convenient excuses for the way our spacecraft behave.
In that case, we would like to declare peace.
I agree that would be a good idea. But no thanks.
Don't we have a replicator?